Welcome to the Mission Driven Founders, where we spotlight passionate entrepreneurs behind indie beauty and wellness brands making a real impact. Subscribe, hit the bell for updates, and share this video with your health conscious friends. Today, we're excited to introduce Lynn Power, co founder and CEO of Masami Premium Haircare. Lynn spent nearly 30 years in the advertising industry before launching Masami, a premium clean hair care brand infused with Mekabu, a nutrient-rich seaweed from the northeast of Japan. Now, let's dive into Lynn's inspiring journey and see how she's contributing to our movement and making a difference in the world. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Wanda. That was a lovely intro. It's so nice to see you, and thank you for having me.
Of course. So, can you share the story behind the inception of your brand? What inspired you to start this journey, and how does it align with your personal values and mission?
Sure. First, I got to get Dino to come on my lap. Otherwise, he's going to cry in the background for, come here. You going to come up or no? Okay, but no crying. All right.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, he's very needy.
I love
Clingy.
that. My dog is sleeping right here on my
Come
feet.
up or you don't cry. Those are the options. Okay.
So,
So
Mission
I
Driven
spent
Founders.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like we're doing a gazillion things. So yeah, I spent 30 years, almost 30 years in advertising. And I had started as a receptionist in Chicago, then moved to New York, and then worked my way up. And I was the CEO of J. Walter Thompson, New York. But I was not really enjoying it so much anymore because I was dealing with a lot of bureaucracy, which is really not fun for me. And so I just kind of had this realization, like I've done everything I want to do in that business. I wanted to do something where I had more control of my life. So I left in 2018. I started actually doing consulting with startups because I felt like I could really lean in and make an impact. And then I met my co-founder, James, who'd been working on our hair care formulations for almost a decade. And he'd gotten them pretty good, like 80% there. But I was super impressed with what he'd done so far. He had found our hero ingredient, Mekabu, from his husband, Masahiro, who grew up in Northeast Japan. And there they use the ingredient like the way we use avocados, it's just staple. And so once I tried the products and loved them, we decided to go into business together. It's been great because he didn't know anything about commercializing a business or even creating a brand name, a whole go-to-market strategy, all that stuff. And I'm not a formulator. That is like a whole different world for me. And so I always tell people when they're looking to do this kind of thing, find a co-founder that has a complementary skill set because it really does help.
Absolutely. That's a good combination, you and your partner, the formulator and the marketer.
Yeah.
That. So, your brand is known for its commitment to sustainability and using ethical ingredients. Could you walk us through your product development process and how you ensure that every ingredient and packaging choice supports your mission?
Yeah. So we decided, and I think it's a really good exercise for any brand to do is to really um, articulate and define your values in the beginning. Don't wait until down the road because your values really shouldn't change. So we definitely wanted to be inclusive. We wanted to be simple. We wanted to be diverse. We wanted to be sustainably minded. Those were all like really important to us. And um, for various reasons. I mean, the simplicity thing really comes from a Japanese philosophy and also um, the complicated category that is hair care. If you walk into the hair care aisle and try to decipher which product you need, do I need the one for volume, the one for hydration, the one for healthy hair, the one for strong hair, the one for color treated hair? It's like, I want all those. So we didn't want to have to basically play that game that the big brands play. So we wanted to create something that really did work for just about everybody. And we wanted it to be inclusive and work for just about every hair type and texture, including men. So we specifically created a scent that was not too flowery, that hopefully men could appreciate as well. And they do. About 40% of our customers are men. So that was kind of the idea. But I do think it is super important to define your values, live your values, make sure all the things that you're doing actually kind of align around those. And it makes your life a lot easier, frankly.
That is so true. I love what you said. The values are your your core, business is based on your values, and I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So I have to say I've been using your products. I'm showing them now. I just told you before we started the interview that my hair is very oily. So
Yeah.
I use the shampoo and then I use the conditioner after it's dry to control the frizz. And I also use your serum and the mask. I love them both. And I especially use them at the beach because it's funny. I have oily hair, but at the beach, my hair, probably because of the gray, gets
Yeah.
very frizzy and dry. And your products have saved my hair.
Oh, I love that. I love when I hear that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a good candidate because if you do have hair that tends to get frizzy or tends to get dry, our products will really, because they really hydrate they hydrate almost like a sponge. That's what the Mekabu does. So it really kind of hydrates from the inside out. And so it's it's most people tell me a noticeable difference between that kind of hydration versus a surface level hydration, which doesn't last. Your hair might feel better temporarily, and then the next day you're feeling it's not looking good again.
exactly. And what you say is so true about the sponge because I feel like when you have gray hair, like when you just let it go gray, it becomes even more porous. So it's like it gets drier. And once you apply the shampoo, like your shampoo, it feels like it like penetrates my porous gray hair and it becomes so soft, so smooth. I love it. It has really transformed my hair. And also I in the beginning I didn't use it right. So I was putting a ton of product
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was
no.
getting heavy. So that's important, I think. I mean, it's not a product tutorial, but I have to say that what I do now, I don't know if this is
Yeah.
the correct way, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I put it on my palm. I spread it on my palm really, really, really well. And then I put it on
Yes.
my hair with some like water so that it will spread well and it won't get heavy. So that's amazing because then it's really light, it's
Yep.
bouncy, and I don't have to wash my hair every day, which I normally do just because of the oiliness. But with your shampoo, I really don't have to do that every day.
Yeah, that is exactly how to use it because if a little goes a long way and it's low foaming. So some people make the mistake of just wanting to, dump more on there to get that foam, and it really doesn't have a ton of foam. There's a
Right.
little bit of foam, but yeah, what you're describing is perfect. That is how you
Okay.
use it. And then also, you're not unique. Most people tell me the same thing. Like they don't have to wash their hair as often. So even though that bottle looks small, it will last a really long time.
Look at this. This is the shampoo and this is the conditioner. I don't know if
Hmm.
you can tell, but I
Yeah,
mean,
how much is in there? Yeah.
it's months that you gave me this and I still have it. So it's really like, cost benefit, it's the best.
Yeah.
Very cost effective. So anyway, let's go back to our questions. So we already talked about this a little bit because of my experience, but who can benefit the most from your products and how does your brand aim to serve or connect with those individuals?
Yeah, I would say anyone with dry, damaged, unhealthy, dull, or unmanageable hair. So, or frizzy hair, or anyone who's just, really not satisfied with the way their hair looks. If your hair's a 10 already, like if you're like, oh my God, my hair is my best feature, I have amazing hair, you're not going to see a huge benefit from our product. Let's face it, because you're already probably using really good products and your hair is amazing. So you're not going to see a big uptick. But if you do have any of those other things going on, which 95% of people do, you're going to feel like the products really help. Also, I found that older people like myself, where your hair starts to thin, it's really good because it helps stop the hair fall. So you don't see all that clumps of hair in the shower. And that's also beneficial. So we can't claim to make it grow your hair, even though people have told me they swear it does, but we've not done trials on that. But I can tell you it should eliminate at least the hair falling out.
I noticed that too with my hair because when I started growing gray, it's my hair started falling, and it was really funny because I went really gray when I decided, oh, now I'm not going to color anymore. I don't know if I went really gray or they were already there, but it feels like they just like multiplied suddenly. But my hair started falling, and with the shampoo, since I've been using it, the Mekabu, right? I said
Yeah,
it.
yeah, Mekabu. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it smells amazing. Like when you said you made a smell that, it caters to women and men. I love the smell. It smells fresh, like you just came out of the shower. I love it.
Yeah, funny enough, the smell is based on Casablanca lilies,
Ah,
which they never can figure that out. Which sounds when you say it like it's going to be a floral kind of scent, but it's really not. Most people say it smells kind of oceany and very fresh and clean.
yes, it really
So,
does. I
yeah.
love it. I feel I keep smelling my hair. Smells like I just came out of the shower.
Yeah.
So tell us about a challenge you faced in building your brand and how you overcame it. What lessons did you learn that you'd
So
like to?
many challenges. Oh my gosh. I would say challenge number one was launching right before COVID. We launched in February at New York Fashion Week. Challenge number two was getting cancer. So I got breast cancer a year after my business launched and had to have a full year of chemo, surgery, radiation, and was bald for 9 months as a hair care founder. So that was quite a challenge. And then now it's just ongoing, customer acquisition, cash flow, all the things that entrepreneurs deal with, especially when you have a physical product. Every time you need to order more, it's like $50,000. And so you're just, it's very tough to kind of manage all that, but that's what we do. That's the business we're in, you figure it out.
Exactly. I think every entrepreneur goes through some kind of similar problem right now. It's especially if you're not backed by investors or
Yeah,
anything,
exactly.
you're bootstrapping, it's tough.
Which
But
most of us are not. I mean, I think it's really hard in the beauty business to find the right investors. And even if you do, it's no guarantee. I mean, there are so many businesses that have gone out of business over the last year or two. Several of them were VC backed. So that does not guarantee success. So it's just a tough industry. It's super crowded, but yeah.
it really is. So what do you think is important to guarantee success? I mean, you can't guarantee success, but what do you think is the foundation of a business so that, like there's the VC backed ones that went down, there's the ones that are just small businesses that couldn't support and continue in business. What do you think is the secret sauce to stay in business and succeed?
I mean, I think you have to experiment a lot and try different things and be willing to pivot. Even with the CBC, we used to do our own stores. And then I had this epiphany of like, wait a minute, I can't scale that. I'm spending 6 days a week in a store. I could be having, shelves in other people's stores. So yeah, you have to kind of be willing to look for those opportunities and adjust all the executional things along the way. Just don't change, like I said, your vision and your values. That should sort of be your guiding light.
That is great advice. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn, for that. So let's talk about the giving back chain, where brands and consumers unite to support the planet and the community. How does your brand give back? And could you also share awards, certifications, and other causes that you support?
Yeah, so we set up the Masami Institute to give a portion of our proceeds back to support ocean research in Northeast Japan, where we get our hero ingredient. And the reason we did that is because the tsunami in 2011 actually wiped out that bay, and the ecosystem there was completely turned upside down. There were all sorts of sea urchins, which were almost like parasites. They just had overrun the bay. They were eating off all the seaweed. So a lot of the sort of staples that the people there rely on were not available. So we found this guy, Kazuyu. So he dives in the bay and documents what's going on there, and we support him as best we can. And that way we're able to kind of replenish what we take from the ocean and from the earth. And he has pretty much single-handedly rebalanced that bay because he recognized what was happening, and he actually encouraged the local people to go and scoop up all those sea urchins and eat them because they're delicacies in Japan. And
Right.
so that was pretty amazing. And I'm a big believer that like all brands need to have some kind of community aspect and give back. Because that's just it's just the right thing to do, right? So yeah, that's our thing.
Thank you, Lynn, for sharing your inspiring journey and for all the work that you do to create a more sustainable and conscious world. I love what you do with Japan, what you did with Japan and the farmer also. I mean, that's huge to create this whole community where everybody is helping and consuming what was, destroying the seaweed. I love the sea urchin story. And to everyone watching, remember that every choice we make can shape the future. Let's choose wisely, live
Yep.
mindfully, and support those who are making a difference, like our friend Lynn.
Thank you.